Next is the interview segment with Dr. Chris Ngige, Minister of Labour and Employment. Welcome to the program, Minister for Labour and Employment, Senator Chris Ngige. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
Let's start with the federal government's plans to address unemployment in Nigeria. And here, this is separate to the proposed 500,000 graduate trainee teachers. What's the plan?
The 500,000 teacher conversion program is part of the federal government plan to stem the scourge of unemployment. If you remember very well, we push into the labor market graduates of tertiary institution in the neighborhood of close to 600,000 persons. This is not inclusive of those who have just done the secondary education and they've just come out from their WASC and maybe are unable to get into the tertiary institutions. So if we talk holistically, we're talking about 2 million people going into this pool every year, and this has been happening for a large number of years. So this government have decided that this pool of unemployed, this army of unemployed, is the fishing ground for recruitment of miscreants, social miscreants, those who go to do Boko Haram and say Western education is evil, those who go and do militancy in the Niger Delta, whom we had to tackle, government tackled them with an amnesty program, no matter how imperfect, but did some amelioration. Those who do Obuja People's Congress, OPC, those who do MASOB and so-called Biafra and IPOB. These are social dislocation. These are organizations born out of social dislocation. So the government decided that we have to go there. We have to confront this particular scourge, joblessness, unemployment. And so we said for a start, we are going to convert 500,000 graduates, whether you read law, you read engineering, you read physics, you read humanities, you read biological or physical sciences, come over. We give you a training in an affiliated college of education, or the college of education that is nearest to you. So actually this is an education-based program, Federal Ministry of Education-based program. While you are in training, while you are doing that conversion, we can pay you some stipend. It depends on, again, where you are located, whether you're housed or whether you're coming from home. So the stipend is about 15,000 minimum. This is what we have now in our calibration as the minimum standard we will adopt. After your training, you will now go to teach in secondary schools and maybe technical colleges, whichever is available in the area in question. Areas should be area nearest to you. So to that extent, we're going to engage state governments. They have to buy into this program.
Yeah.
Because these people we're talking about are in the states than the local governments. It's a federal government intervention. But the final recipients, the people who take the end product, are state governments. We have federal government colleges that are not too plenty to absorb all.
And you mentioned this was part of a plan. So the 500,000 graduate trainee teachers, that's part of the plan. Any more specifics on other?
The vocational training program, skill acquisition. We want to give them skill, give them vocation. We have, to the chagrin of everybody in this country today, a situation where if you go to the building construction industry, most of the people who lay the tiles, who do the plaster of Paris, POP, are Ghanaians or Beniners or people from Togo, people from the West African sub-region. Because these people have decided to use their hands to earn a living. So we have the skill acquisition centers. We now want to put people into the skill acquisition centers and teach them these trades of carpentry, welding, bricklaying, POP, painting, and so many other crafts. We are even going to go further because in this ministry we have a skill development department. We also have NDE, which is the Director for Employment, National Director for Employment, and they all have skill acquisition centers. The skill acquisition center we have, supervised by the ministry, are about 10 in number, located in Lagos. They are in Bauchi, they are in Kaduna, they are in Calabar, Warri, Enugu. We have them all in every zone. So we now have to even send people, after they have acquired their basic initial skill, to go further and do specialization and acquire certificates. Because many people like certification, and certification is the only instrument with which you will know that somebody has learned a trade well or has majored in something, whether it's even reading in the university. You certify you. The former city and guilds have been converted. In most of these are what specialist skill training center to give certification 1, 2, and 3. 3 is the highest, 2 is medium, and 1. So this is a certificate that is generally recognized, even in Europe and here. So our main aim of doing that is that as we are now as a country, we are talking about labor migration, and we are bought into it. So there is a policy on labor migration. We are discussing with the European Union. We are signing MOUs, and we intend that when this is formalized, some of these people will be exported to other climes under a legal instrument and giving visas, resident visas, and they will go there and work for a number of years, earn them, and then can come back legitimately. If you read if you're in the media, you will know a lot of people die crossing the Sahara, they die crossing the ocean to go from North Africa. These are because the migration policy has not come into effect, but we are working hard on it. So you can now see that we are now doing a synchronization so that people will now go into skill acquisition. We're also talking with the education so that they can change the curricula and get technical education to have a pride of place. The essence being that white-collar job should no longer be fashionable. Some people will earn 10,000 while in training under the skill acquisition. Some people will earn 5,000 because they are untrainable. They can't be trained. And in this category, who are the people in this category? The people in this category are physically challenged people. There are people also who, for one reason or the other, they didn't go to school at all. So they don't know how to read or write. So you can't put them into skill acquisition center. You can't give them a teacher conversion scheme, which is what we can call Operation Teach Nigeria. That is the slogan we'll have for it. You can't get them there. So for these other people, we can get them into doing community service. They will clean drainages, cut grasses on federal highways in their locality, go and do this 2 times a week. They will receive 5,000. So it's a community service scheme. There is a school children feeding program. We are still tinkering with it because it must go pari passu with state governments. The schools are located with state government. So we are going to do that as a social program again, but they must buy in. Just like there's a UBE scheme, Universal Basic Education, where we do counterpart funding, 50-50 basis with state government. Some state governments have not entered that program. These other ones, school feeding, any state government that is interested will also come in. And we shall look at it jointly, holistically, and know what percentage will be the counterpart funding there.
Thank you, Minister. And now we'll go to a short break, and when we come back, we'll listen to more of the Minister of Labour and Employment's plan for Nigeria.